Hey, what's up? DFS Rico coming at you with my picks and insight for this LPL LCK 6-game slate on Wednesday, April 15th. Before I get started, if you could like, subscribe, comment at the end of the video if you got any questions. And all right, let's get to it. So early on, I usually go through the teams and I just break down the favorites, which as of right now, the biggest favorite on the slate is T1 over Freak of Freaks and RNG over Dominus Esports. So just those are the biggest favorites on the slate. So I mean, if you're looking at cash, I would look at stacking teams from T1, RNG. IG's pretty heavily favored, but they are playing a really good team. They're playing a really explosive team that can show up every now and then. So they did get 2-0. WE did get 2-0 last time out versus E-Star, but E-Star is a really good team. I mean, Invictus Gaming has been a better team all season, but just be wary of that. And then Damwon Gaming over Esports is favorited, and EDG's favorited over OMG, and Gen G's favored over KT Rollster. So for cash, I mean, the main way I would look is T1, RNG, and Invictus Gaming. In that order as well, I believe. Just because I truly believe Invictus Gaming is going to have a tough game, but who knows, they could 2-0 them. I know they can 2-0 them, but I'd rather just play the safer way in cash, especially, and play T1 and RNG. And I think with stacking them, you can actually afford to play, like, instead of just a support you could probably play a jungler in the captain spot as well, which benefits you even more in cash. For GPPs, I mean, you can play the upset for WE, because if they do win, they're going to have huge gains from Teacher Ma, for sure. And then you can play OMG and GPPs, which they are going to be lower owned stacks, for sure. And then KT can beat Gen G if, like I mentioned, if aiming shows up, they can win. Aiming is a good AD carry, so just depends how their early game shows up. It's just tougher for these LCKs teams to play those in the GPP as well, but because they don't score as much as usually the LPL, where they're just going kill after kill after kill. So early on, GPP, I mean, KT and OMG is the way I would look if you were looking at that. Not and Team WE. I'm not really looking at a Freak of Freaks, Dominus Esports, or Sandbox, really. But yeah, so early on, just T1 and RNG in cash for sure. And then just looking at I'm going to run through this quick. You got Lang X for top lane for RNG. If you're going to be playing RNG, he's a pretty solid play up there. I mean, the Shy leads all top laners in kills and deaths. So, I mean, you just never know what you're going to get. I mean, you can either get him play a huge game he plays AD carry in the top lane and he usually shows up, or you can have him playing something more passive and then he gets punished up there. Just depends. And then you got Kana for T1. I like him as well. And that's really it on the top lane. I'm not too excited about the top lane. Just play the guys for the favorites if you're a little confused. And then the junglers, Jai did play the last time out. They lost against FPX, which, I mean, FPX is a really good team. They put up a good fight, though. So he's the most expensive right now. He's been playing good ever since they promoted him up. And then Leon for Invictus Gaming. Beishang is 7,000 for good reason. I mean, when they win, he can put up over 100 points easily. Then you got whoever starts between Kuz and Elim. Kuz has been starting lately. They did just get 2-0'd by KT. T1 did. But I think he'll continue to start, honestly. Just be careful with that. I would probably just try to play the jungler from like RNG or Invictus Gaming if I am going that way, just to be safe, because you don't know who's going to ultimately start for these LCK teams until like 20 minutes before the game starts. But everyone else on the team is pretty consistent all season, which, like with Kana and Teddy and Faker have been pretty consistent, and Effort have been pretty consistent all season, so I don't think you have to worry. XLB at 6.6K is just absurd. Judging the fact that they're huge favorites, I'd probably look at making sure I insert him for that saving. He's cheaper than a lot of the underdogs junglers, which is crazy. Then obviously in the middle lane, you got Rookie, one of the best mid laners in the world. Xiaohu, if you're going to be stacking RNG, I do like him. 8.6 kills per game, 13.0 assists. And then you got Faker, which is super underpriced at 7K. I understand he doesn't have the craziest high ceiling, but I mean, he's pretty safe when they're winning. He's going to get you 80 points. But the main player I would stack from that game is going to be Teddy for sure. If you're playing T1, make sure you include Teddy in that lineup. Usually when they're winning, it's usually doing part because he's playing really well. Then you got Hope at the top with the leads the slate, 12.5 kills per game match, 13.7 assists per match. Then you also got Puff, which has been playing better lately. So he did actually pass Hope lately in kills per match. But before that, he wasn't as high as him. But he can explode as well. So those are the two guys at the top. AD carry, if you are going to be paying up at AD carry for sure. But Jiao Ming, if you're going to be going playing that upset, you'll see a lot of these WE guys are still pricey just because they are good. Ruler for Gen G, if you're going to be playing that way. And like I mentioned, aiming for 7K if you're going to be playing KT for the upset, which like I mentioned, they can show up and upset these guys. So just be wary of that for sure. And then you got your supports, Southwind for sure at 23.2 assists per match. If you're going to be playing Invictus Gaming, I would recommend running him in your stacks just to save that money. And then Missing, if you're playing the upset, I do like him at 6K. Effort for T1, like I mentioned, he should continue to start. So, I mean, pairing him up with Teddy seems like a good idea to be able to spend up more at these for RNG guys if you play the Invictus Gaming guys in cash specifically. And I think that's really it. The only other guy, Two-Scene for 4.6K, I would play him if I am stacking KT. Just to save money, I'd probably go with like KT's. I would play Aiming, Two-Scene, and maybe the team, just because everyone else on the team is not that explosive, and you would have to run it back with like an LPL team if you're going to be playing KT, just because the LPL, like I mentioned, does have higher upside for sure. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Like I mentioned, T1, RNG, Invictus Gaming, and Cash. And everyone else is honestly a GPP play. Like, anyone else can win today other than, I mean, Freaker Freaks and Dominance Esports are the two main ones. Well, I don't think they have a chance, but just go out there and take a chance today. I feel like GPPs are good today, honestly. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.